The office is open on Monday and Thursday after the freshman seminar.
Our university has set a minimum English language proficiency requirement. Please make sure to use the standard quotation style when writing. We always look for ways to stay ahead and make more money.
University career advice helps you move from school to a job smoothly.
You can access our collections online in different ways. Attendance in this research course is not mandatory. This project will enable you to enhance your literacy skills.
You have to face many tough challenges by yourself.
This organization was set up to help people with mental health problems. Unfortunately, she didn't have enough money to buy the car she wanted. Why can't we move brains from one person to another? First, let's understand what the brain does. This organ inside our heads, weighing around 3.3 pounds on average, is bigger in humans compared to other animals relative to body size. That's why we're so smart. The active brain is our control center for the nervous system, gathering information from our body and sending commands to our muscles. It's so busy that it uses about 20% of our energy. When brain activity stops completely, we're brain dead. Machines can keep us breathing for a short time, but within a week, our body stops working. Even though we might seem alive during that week, we're technically considered dead when the brain stops working. The good news is that, while we're being kept alive, some of our other organs can be donated. But why can't we use someone else's brain? When transplanting something like a heart, surgeons use a machine to keep blood moving through the body while the new heart is being placed. The new heart is then linked to the main blood vessels, which can take several hours. Afterward, you'll spend 1 to 2 weeks in the hospital. If your body doesn't reject the new heart, statistics say 87 out of 100 people survive the first year, and 60 out of 100 make it through 10 years. So, couldn't we just remove a brain and put in a new one? A neurosurgery professor at Yale was asked this in 2013. He believed that one day it might be possible, but not yet. The challenge is connecting nerve fibers from the new brain to the existing spinal cord. This difficulty explains why spinal cord injuries can be so serious. If we could transplant brains, many people with spinal injuries might not be disabled. What term do we use when referring to both brothers and sisters in the same way? Where is a suspect typically found guilty of a crime?
What is the synonym of destiny? What is the part that powers a car, ship, or aircraft? What kind of body covering aids in insulating burns?
Where is the typical location for a pilot to sit in an airplane? Let's look at how rain forms and how raindrops fall. First, we need the sun. When the sun heats up water on the earth, it turns the water into an invisible gas called water vapor. This process is called evaporation. Since gases are lighter than liquids, the water vapor rises into the sky. As it goes higher, it gets colder. In the cooler sky, the water vapor cools and changes back into tiny water droplets. This change is called condensation, which is the opposite of evaporation. Clouds are made of these tiny water droplets. When condensation happens in the sky, clouds begin to form and grow. Here's what happens next: when these water droplets bump into each other, they stick together and get bigger. They keep growing until they are too heavy and fall as rain. Even as they fall from the cloud to the ground, they can still grow. Each raindrop that hits the ground is made of about 1 million tiny water droplets. When raindrops reach the ground, the sun heats them up, starting the process all over again. This continuous movement of water from the ground to the sky and back is called the water cycle. It keeps water flowing, which is essential for plants, animals, and people. The idea that a dog could seek help from a human does have a solid basis in science. In a study called the Unsolvable Task Experiment, dogs first learn to open a puzzle box to get a treat. Then, the puzzle is changed to one that's impossible to solve. When dogs get frustrated, they look at a nearby human and then back at the puzzle. They try to get the human's attention to help them. This behavior is similar to what human babies do, which is called referential communication. Scientists wondered if wolves, who are related to dogs, would do the same thing. But when they tested wolves raised by humans, the wolves just kept trying to solve the puzzle on their own. Since the dogs and wolves were raised in the same way by the same people, it seems that domestication plays a role in this behavior.
UNICEF has issued a cautionary statement, emphasizing that schools in Haiti are increasingly vulnerable to the influence of criminal gangs, with children now becoming targets for theft or extortion. According to the organization, at least 7 schools in the capital city of Port-au-Prince have been compelled to make payments to unidentified gangs in exchange for protection over the past 2 months. Moreover, additional educational institutions have also faced threats. This warning comes in the aftermath of reports that gang members had fatally abducted a university professor recently. Furthermore, Efforts are ongoing by both US and Haitian authorities to secure the release of 17 missionaries from a US religious organization who were abducted near the capital on October 16. Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about something I really care about: convergence, technology change, and business practices. For the past 15 years, I've been involved in many different aspects of technology and how it changes the way businesses work spectrum. This includes things like using special signal readers in factories, signal processing, and using information from calendars and phone calls, utilization data and diary applications, to help salespeople work better. Salesforce.
For a long time now, most people have believed that a great company culture always leads to success, and hardly anyone has questioned this idea. Rarely. But a new study has cast some shadows on this belief. The people who wrote the report authors say that a company can be well built, but if it's built on the wrong ideas, it won't be successful. It doesn't matter if all the employees agree on what to do if they're all working towards the wrong goal. You've probably heard of zoning laws, but many folks are unsure what they actually are. Let me break it down for you. Zoning laws are rules made by local governments, like cities and counties. They decide how different parts of the city or county can be used. Think about our city for a second. It's split into different areas, right? Some are for businesses, while others are for homes. Well, that's because of zoning laws. In the business areas, you'll find shops and offices. In the residential areas, there are houses and apartments. You can't just build a factory in a neighborhood, or put up an apartment building in the shopping district. That's against the rules set by zoning laws. There are actually quite a few